Hey there. I don't know if you're like me, but I'm kind of done with 2020. You too. It's been a heck of a year. So if you're watching this video right now, it is officially on you, your job, to remind the people around you what we have in common. And you can do that through song. Today I'm going to show you how to sing this song better, faster. Hey there, I'm Kim Snyder, professional singer, master vocal coach, and creator of the Voice Club method. I do what really no one else does, and that is take my super really bizarre vocal education and turn it around to help you understand how to remove the obstacles from singing well and know how you did it. Now, before we get into how to sing this song easier, we have to start the most important place, and that is with communication, because that is the real job of a singer. It's actually not to remember the words and sing the notes. Did you know that? Has anyone ever told you that? I wish someone had told me that ages ago. And that means that when we look at a song, we don't just say, how do we remember the words? And we have to make sure we get them right, unlike most of the lyric sites online. We have to say, who wrote this song and what was their story? Every song is a story put to notes. My Country 'Tis of Thee is not one of the most popular patriotic songs for Americans, but it is a oldie but a goodie. And if you get the opportunity to sing this song, whether just for yourself, with your family, or in a community gathering around holiday time, you have a wonderful opportunity. This is a great story. It was written by a 24-year-old guy in 30 minutes. Yeah, and we're not talking one of these songs that has 5 sentences like God Bless America. This is a really long song. It was written by Samuel Francis Smith at the age of 24. Now, Samuel was a prolific hymn writer. He actually wrote more than 150 popular hymns in his 87 years on earth. When we go through the lyrics and what they mean in this song, you'd be like, man, could I have written that at 24? Or when I'm 24? That's pretty deep stuff. If you're familiar with other countries and some of their national anthems you may think you've heard this song before. It actually shares a melody with several different national anthems, one of which is God Save the Queen in England. At this time in history, that happened a lot. Songwriters would take melodies that other countries had used because other countries were worlds away, no one would ever know, and they would use them for songs in their own country. Now, this quickly became a national anthem. And Samuel Francis Smith may have gotten an inkling that that was going to happen because he originally titled this the unofficial national anthem. That was its title. But we know it as My Country 'Tis of Thee. Now, 'Tis of Thee is Old English, and we may go, it's one of those old songs. If I were to take this title and put it into contemporary terms and say, I'm going to tell you a story, I'm going to sing it. I'm going to sing a story to you. And the story is called This Is My Country. That's what My Country 'Tis of Thee means. So keep that in mind as we go through the lyrics. I'm going to show you how to start to improve some of the most problematic parts of this song so that you can enjoy it more, sing it better, and most importantly, communicate the story. Oh, and by the way, it's kind of a long song, but when Samuel Francis Smith wrote this song, stanza, or part, number 4, was his big point. When he wrote it, that was his intention. And the 4th stanza, which just means the group of words, group of words, group of words, group of words. No verse, chorus, like we're used to. Back then it was just a bunch of words, bunch of words, bunch of words, a bunch of words. The 4th one was what we think of today as the chorus, the hook, the main point. But the way we sing it today, almost no one ever sings the 4th stanza. We'll take a look at all of them. In the Voice Club method, we do a whole lot of stuff that no one else does. One of the first things that we do, because our goal in singing is not about hitting the notes. Once we free the vocal machine, it hits notes. Pitch fixes itself. It's a result of the machine doing what it can do and nothing being in its way. We don't worry about that. We go straight for the gut. And that is, how can we make this story our own so that we can communicate and connect with other people, which is the purpose of singing. It's just like storytelling with notes. And in order to do that, we have to take those stupid, horribly formed, and sometimes wrong lyrics and take all those commas out, take all those periods out. We need to write it as a story, put it into sentence structure. If you'll write a song this way, you'll find that automatically your brain gets it. It's easier to remember, it's easier to learn the words, and it's much easier. It actually automatically starts to happen that you will communicate the message better through music because your brain is communicating a sentence structure instead of trying to remember rhyming words. Not all songs have rhyming words. And this is what it looks like. I can't see all of it. I'll scoot it up as we get going here. Now, if you've watched my How to Sing videos, you know that there is no perfect key. There is no singer's key. There is no best key for your voice. These are all things that people make up to sound smarter than other people, and then someone else passes it on to sound smarter than somebody else. I found this out the hard way. I'm just letting you cut the line, okay? It's not a thing. Actually, if you'll sing something off the top of your head, you'll find that your brain over 90% of the time will pick the best key for your voice. Did you know that? Whether you have grown dramatically as a singer, or if you're still having major problems and you can't wait to grow as a singer, where it is most comfortable for your voice to be at right now with the issues and problems or whatever's going on, your brain knows. Your brain's real familiar with not wanting to embarrass you, and your brain is really good at picking the right key. This is also why sometimes you'll start singing a song and in the middle of it or partway through, you'll start singing it in a different key and you feel like, oh no, I have pitch issues. No, your brain knows you're going to feel uncomfortable there and it's trying to protect you. It's not your voice's fault. We blame our voice all the time. It's like, I'm innocent, not my problem. So if you get a chance to sing this song, just sing it off the top of your head and write down what key that turns out. It's going to end up in a neighborhood of notes. If you don't play an instrument, that's fine. Find someone who does and say, this is the key I like to sing it in. Have them write it down. Chances are you're going to be in a much more comfortable place singing that. It's going to be easier, and that will free you up to be able to communicate the beautiful message of My Country 'Tis of Thee. I'm going to sing it for you in a bunch of different keys because that's usually the way we get stuck singing in somebody else's key. So let's take a look at This Is My Country, otherwise known as My Country 'Tis of Thee. My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. That is one phrase. That is one sentence. And you'll notice that I see I didn't take all of the commas out. I like to be very literal about how I print lyrics out. I double space them because I'm going to go in and fix things so that it's easier to sing. And then after that, I'm going to go in and make notes about how I want to style the song so that I can remember some cool things that happened. Then I want to make sure I do again. And then I'm going to, if you're me, I'm going to make 2 copies of this. And then I'm going to narrow it down to my rehearsal copy, which is going to have all sorts of different markings for extra stuff. But it starts with a story. You probably know the notes, so that's going to be easy. My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Are you like, I can't sing that whole line, I'm going to have to sing it slower, I'm going to have to breathe? Just so you know, if you have to catch a breath during a sentence, if you write a story out, a song, as a story, in sentence form, you should be able to sing that whole thing with no problem, even if you sing it slow. If you can't, it's not a breath support problem. It's a vocal muscle problem. What we're going to look for first in every song is a place to rev our vocal engine. That means to engage the muscle. And it's always in the first percussive sound of the song. End of each sentence. This one has a good like good. Say that. All right. My country 'tis of thee. A lot of us will sing it like a little M and a 3 capital H's. My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. H is a singer's enemy. You could get 3 vocal degrees and you will find that they will teach you exercises that start with a hee and a hoo and a ha, but the joke is on you because H actually starts shutting down the vocal machine. When we look at how the anatomy works, H forces the engine to shift gears to breathe. It forces the sound making machine to stop. So anytime you see an H, if you have trouble breathing, H is your enemy and H is the reason. We need to minimize the H and we need to really rev up the engine. We're going to do that on my. Lots of different words for this sound. You can call it a creak, a cry, a fry, whatever. All you need to know is it's a row. Any sound we can get a little in, and we can do it in my. My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Now, admittedly, this is a long sentence. They used to talk like that. They used to write like that, and that is the way we have to sing it because them's the words that people know. If it wasn't that popular, we could get away with saying, you are my country, I love you, oh liberty, I'll sing this song. It means the same thing, but people would look at us weird and go like, why can't you get the words? Did you forget them? So we won't do it that way. Go ahead and sing this line, soft and airy. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of the... See how many times you have to breathe. And then give a biggest one you can on my. Sing it about the same pace and see how much less breath support you need. You'll be surprised. The bigger your the better support you're going to have. It won't feel like the bridge is falling out from underneath you when you sing it. It won't feel wonky, okay? My country, 'tis of thee. If you find it's weak because you started with a my country, 'tis of thee, and we need a second place to dig back in, get that engine going, and it's going to be on the W. Sweet. Sweet. It's not on the S. It's on the W. Sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing, land where my fathers died. And it's never on an L, because an L is about as useless as an F, as a TH, as a WH. They're all wimpy. If you've got consonants and combinations of letters that just when you say them sound wimpy, they are not places to get your machine revving on. If your engine, you turn it and it goes, you ain't going nowhere. Same thing with your vocal anatomy. W, N, B, G. Those are cranking the engine, okay? Land where my fathers died. If you have a F problem, you might be going, land where my fathers died. You might need 2 breaths in there. If you have a real problem with this, take out the L and take out the F. And where my others died. Never sing it that way in front of people. But when you rehearse it, get a feeling for what it's like when those don't trip you up. And you'd be like, what? I have power. It was always there. Land where my fathers died. Land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. We have a fr. That's not the way it should sound, so we get a r. We can't go f, but we can go r. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. Now, I'm going to take this up a little higher because I can sing that right in that key, but I'll take it up higher. It's harder for me too, and I want to fail. That's the goal here, because we're all going to fail, right? My country, 'tis of thee. All right. This is going to want to go my, which will really make a problem. We're going to go ma. My country, 'tis of thee. The I only happens the second we come off of that word. It can't come in any sooner, or it will cause one of those wrenches that's in your vocal machine to go. Try that. Yeah, see how that feels. That's what it'll do. My country, 'tis of thee. Also, thee is going to feel a little bit more like the. Thee. Now, if you've watched any of my How to Sing videos, you know that I am not telling you to go, my country, 'tis of the. No, we're giving your brain something else to look at as a reference so that it doesn't automatically do what it's already doing to you. We're giving the brain new information in its database because the database it's using is causing your problems. 100% of the time. The problem's in the brain, not in the voice. Sweet land of liberty, liberty. Does it ever feel like that just sounded? Liberty. Liberty. L-E-B-E-R-T-E-H. Liberty of the I sing. The rest should be fine. Okay? Now, we'll fix the first one. If you don't feel any discomfort, it's not hard in the key that you have to sing this in, whatever that is. To keep going, you don't need these. Start at the beginning, use what you need to. Okay? This is just one of many ways we can fix this for you, but it's the most widely fixing for the most people. That's why I'm choosing it. Not that we can't do something else, because we can do a lot. Land where my fathers died. See where I just put myself for you? I am sacrificing. L. Land. Now, if I sang this lower, I'm going to be tempted to go, land where my fathers died. We talked about that, so I'm going to go, land where my fathers died. we make those little places to, we should be fine there. From every mountainside. By the way, this is not mountain. This is mountain. Mountain. And if this is still uncomfortable, we'll go 10 sod. Mountain sod. Mountainside, let freedom ring. If you feel uncomfortable by the time you get to let freedom ring, almost always where we feel the problem is not where the problem began. That's why I'm not fixing that one for you. If you fix these things, we'll be fine. But just in case, I like you a lot. I don't want you to have a bonus problem. Let should be lit. Lit it up. Let freedom ring. Now again, there is no magic in narrowing a vowel. It is not a magic tip that works for all notes, all songs, all the time. These are just tools in the hands of a very educated coach that should just be one of many, many ways to get some of the problems to back off. Everybody has unique problems because everybody has completely unique vocal cords, just as unique as your eyeballs and your fingerprints. That means in order to help your voice, you can't take generic advice. Honestly, over 95% of it is just not functionally good for your vocal anatomy. It literally puts things on top of the machine, your Ferrari engine that was designed to run like that. It just puts all this other junk and wrenches in the system, and then you're like, I have to sing and I have to keep all these 300 wrenches in my engine. How do I do that? You don't. You take them out. The problem is we're the only ones that teach how to remove the wrenches instead of just throwing 10 more in there. Getting excited. Let's move on. All right. Let's change to another key. My native country, the land of the noble free, thy name I love. Usually these first parts are not a problem, right? But if you get all airy on them, my land of country thee, you're going to have a problem once you get to that second line, so stop it fast. My native country, the land, and Lund. Sing the other ones. Land of the noble free, thy, which is more like a the. That looks like an A. Oh, look, I'm going to show you magic. Want to see magic? Erasable pen. Technological wonders. Thy name I love. I love thy. That's where the problem's going to come. Let's fix that. We know this is going to be an engine starter. But we're going to go A-W. I love thy is going to be more like, let's go that. I love the rocks and thrills. No, rills. That's the wrong word, isn't it? I don't know. I don't speak old English. I love thy rocks and rills, thy woods and templed hills. Thy, we'll make the again. You're probably never going to sing this verse, but if you do, you're going to know how to sing it better than anyone else. My heart with rapture fills like that above. Now, if you have to sing all 4 stanzas, that means 4 sections. They're like 4 little verses of this song with the same melody. Put some key changes in that baby. Start nice and low as you can. At least one key change between where we are and where we're going next. Okay? Why? The listener does not get tired and bored with the melody, which means they engage with the story, which means everybody gets on the same patriotic vein. And that's the goal of the story. Okay? So let's go up a little bit. Let music swell the breeze. Let. L is useless. La, 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 blah. There you go. Let music swell the breeze. Depending on what key you're singing in this, breeze might get uncomfortable. Let's fix that just in case. Now, I'm going to put briz. If you're singing this song at full tilt, however big you're going to sing it, and it feels easy, you don't need this correction. This is just if it feels uncomfortable. This is a little bit that will help take something I know is going on in your voice and dial it down quite a bit. Let music swell the breeze and ring We're going to go R-E-N-G. Ring from all the trees. Sweet. We're going to go S-W-I-T. Sweet freedom song. Let mortal tongues awake. That means let's get talking, people. When you read through lyrics, do you ever put it into a story? Do you ever say, what does it mean in current English? Sometimes we're like, I got to learn the notes. I got to learn the words. I got to remember it. And then I got to make sure I sing okay. That's just the beginning of the beginning stage. If you will put this story into contemporary terms, you'll remember the words. Because your brain will play the movie. My country. I love this land. Man, I got to sing about this. This is my land. This land is my land. That's another song. Land where my fathers, my forefathers, my grandfathers, my great-grandfathers died protecting this land. This is where pilgrims went west, wanted to find religious freedom and freedom from other things, not less freedom, more freedom. That's why everybody came to America, to have the option to pursue their own dream. And everywhere throughout the country, from mountain to sea, everywhere in between, everybody just feel the freedom. That's just verse 1. That's all it says. We're in verse 3 now. Let music swell the breeze, ring from all the trees. It's like, let the tunes ring out all through the countryside. We're singing a rock song. Sweet freedom. That's what the rock song is called. Let mortal tongues awake, let all that breathe partake. Come on, everybody, sing along. That's what they're saying. Let rocks their silence bring the sound prolong. That means not only everybody rocking, but the rocks are rocking too. If you get that movie playing in your head, you will remember these words. Trust me, it works. Used to have to learn about 40 songs at least twice a month for different bands. They would send me a list of 40 songs. By the way, you got 2 days, learn these 40 songs. I learned a lot of ways to get there fast. That's my job, just to teach you. Pass it on. Let mortal, we can't go, let mortal tongues awake. Because you see what happened to my neck already? Let mortal, I'm like, high notes I reach for thee. I cannot really sing, this is uncomfortable. I hate singing. That's the way it'll feel. You don't want it to feel that way. You want it to be, let the song ring out. So we're going to go, let, and we're going to tell our brain, this is L-I-T. Let mortal tongues awake. And I'm probably going to tell my brain, this is a wick. A wick away, a wick away. Let all that brave partake. L-I-T. Let, same thing, L-I-T. Let rocks their sigh. What sound was that? Was that S-I? No, I said saw. I'm going to go solids. Silence break. The ear will hear silence, but you won't feel that strain, that pain that can happen if you're singing this in a key that's a little bit uncomfortably high for you. The sound prolongs. So we got the sound prolong. Now, I could take this up another half step, but I'm not going to put you through that. I would do it for you, but I don't think you want to hear it. Now, think about the writer of this song. 24 years old. He writes this in 30 minutes. He's like so amped about his country. He's like, man, this is my fathers, my forefathers, everybody. This is it. We're here for freedom. We can have this only in this country. Nowhere else in the world does this exist. And by the way, still exists today as long as we keep patriotism alive. And as a singer, it is now passed on to you. Your obligation to take these patriotic songs and fire up that patriotism within our people in our country. That's how we get to be great, stay great, and keep doing great things. All right, speech over, song back. When the writer wrote this song, the whole point of the whole thing, even though the melody just repeats over and over and over in every little group of sentences, the fourth one was his main point. We never sing it. Let's take a look at what he said. Our fathers, God, to the author of liberty, to thee we sing. Now, when I'm a little stickler for making notes, I would put a comma here, not to breathe, but to say. Now, if I say, our Father is God, He created everything. That's who we're singing to. That's the contemporary language I would use. And when I would say that, I didn't breathe in those places, but I paused for emphasis. Everything you do as a singer completely changes when you put first the communication. This is a story that someone else wrote. I am going to retell the story. How do I connect to this story? That's what makes it unique, and you get to bring all your unique stuff too. It's also how you stop comparing yourself to other singers, because you don't want to be a secondhand copy of anybody else. You want to be the best of the unique talent that you are, and only you can do that. So he's saying, Our Father God to thee. If you watch any of my other how to sing kind of videos, you'll find out that G is God's gift to you, the singer. G, it's the best. Rev up your vocal engine. The G is the best thing in the world. Our Father's God to thee, author of liberty. So you can really, what we call, dig into. That just means you find those places where you can rev that vocal engine, and you can rev it big. You can get a lot of power out of it. To thee we sing. Now, TH, if you find it goes, to thee we sing, to thee we sing. Slow it down and practice putting a little in your engine. I'll just put a little thing there. Long may our land be bright with freedom's holy light. I love this line because even though we've had a lot of trouble in 2020, this is our land. It still belongs to us, the citizens, the people who pursue freedom. And it's up to us to keep the light going. This stands out because it was the most important part of the song. That's the way the songwriter intended. This stanza should never be forgotten, and when you sing it, it should slow down, it should have dramatic pauses, and you should punch the snot out of it. So people go, yeah, that's right. It's not their land, it's our land. No one could take this over. It's all of ours. Nobody owns this. We all do, right? Long may our land be bright with freedom's holy light. We're going to skip that L. It's useless. Long may our land be bright with freedom's holy light. We have an H, but the O is usable. Holy light. If it sounds like that, your H is undermining you. It's a giant wrench in your engine. Holy light. That's hard to do when you're used to going, holy light. If your holy sounds weak, your H is your problem. Take the H out while you practice it and get used to what it feels like without the H. And then sneak the smallest little H back in you can. The more this is a problem for the way you sing, that approach is wrong. Not wrong by my standards, but wrong by what the voice needs to do its job. Then the longer it'll take to repeat that new habit until it gets into it. Holy light, holy light, holy light. Till it becomes more of a habit. Protect us by thy might, great God our King. You could be fine for this entire song. You get to great, and it's all she wrote. First of all, rev our engine on the R. Protect us by, which has to be a B-A-H, by, by thy light, or by thy might, by thy might. Should all be blah, blah, blah. If they're by thy might, your great is going to be horrible. Probably painful and horrifically embarrassing. Just saying. By thy might. And we're going to go grit. Great God, our King. Now, like I said in all the other notes, if you start at the beginning, you make one little correction, the rest of it feels great, you don't need them, right? You might find that you sing in a different key, and you do need them, so it's nice to know where they are. Sometimes you'll sing it 2 hours later, and you'll have a problem where you didn't have a problem before. It's not because your voice doesn't know what it's doing. Our voice is not the problem. Our brain is the problem. Because the database in our brain doesn't definitively know, it's not because someone hasn't told us, but because the things that we've been told to do, or the things that we've copied, or the things that we've guessed on our own, aren't true to what the anatomy, the vocal machine needs. Therefore, we can't ever test and have actual results that the brain can use to file that information away as true. So every time we sing, it is taking all those billions of ideas that we've got in a million different places, and it's just shooting through them trying to guess every time. And you'll find your success is different every time, and that's why. Your brain doesn't have a proven way that works with the way your voice was designed to work, that works every time, and it hasn't had a way to measure it and prove it so that it knows what to call up every time you sing so you can sing your best. That's all. No one else teaches what we do. It's because nobody else has been put through what I've been put through and had to find out the hard way by having 2 separate doctors completely end my voice permanently 2 times. Being told I'll never talk again, never make a sound above a gravel, and having to figure it out for myself. No one's ever done it before. And if it weren't for some very special people in my life, I never would have tried. I would have believed I couldn't talk again either. But I did, and I learned crazy things that science hasn't even gotten to study yet that I've proven in every single singer I've ever worked with. That's how we know it works. I learned the hard way. I can feel and hear things that none of my other high-level coach friends think is real. I'm like, oh yeah, not only that, but I passed it by the top singer's surgeon in the world, and he's like, no, scientifically that all makes sense. So if you want to know more things about unlocking your voice, thevoiceclub.com. is where we have all our information, okay? All right, this song is beautiful. Make these notes, see which ones you need, put them all down, and use the ones that help you the best. Most importantly, sing the story, not the song. We can use a great patriotic song every day of the year, and I have just equipped you and called you out as responsible to get out there and sing and create that unity of patriotism again in our great country of America. Now get out there and sing.